Welcome to Pillow Talkin, the only podcast shot from the bed. I'm
Yep.
JT,
And I'm NeNe.
and of course, this week, just like any other podcast, we'll get started with something big in social media, pop culture, and of course, this week it has been dominated by Kanye West and his new album, Jesus is
Jesus
King.
King.
And yeah, it's kind of weird to say Kanye has a gospel album out, but he does. I actually enjoyed the album. I thought it was great, and it wasn't too corny. It wasn't too like my name's Kanye. I love Jesus. It was just a typical, overly sampled Kanye West album, and I was like, kind
How
of
was the production?
yeah.
How was the production?
It's Kanye. Come on,
I was waiting for you to say that. He loves Kanye
yeah,
music,
Kanye musically is one of the
since way back.
yeah, like Kanye
yeah,
musically
he loves
has
Kanye.
one of the best. Yeah,
Like nobody could say anything about Kanye's music, his craft. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but a lot of people. Some people said the album sucked. Some people said Kanye sucks as a person.
A lot of people are saying that. Like he's getting. I saw today somebody was like, "Oh my God, he's getting on my nerves." Like people were saying that all day, and it's like, dang, like why do people bother you?
He's just. I don't see
It
why.
wasn't even Christian, like churchy people.
I don't see why he's not allowed to have his journey, whatever his journey is. Like we all have every day. Like no matter what your belief is or what your faith is, we all have a journey that we take of reaching what we think. That what our idea of perfection or perfection in our faith is pretty much. It's like we all strive to be better people in our faith and our beliefs.
Yeah,
So
and don't whenever we all go through something and then we come out of it, don't we want to talk about it? Talk about how we came about it.
well, the thing is, Kanye is a musician, so his way of talking about it is through music.
And I think people don't understand that. They're forgetting that he is a musician.
Well, it's just the same to me. I look at it the same way as like when a rapper has a child and they start talking about being a dad
Yeah.
or a mom. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. Like what's going on in their life is reflected in their
Right.
music. And right now, Kanye is going through his time where he's dealing with his faith, and this is the music that comes from that. So how can we be like, oh, this is terrible, or he shouldn't be doing this? Like he has
are we?
he has a right to create. You can't tell people what they can't create,
Yeah, or how they use their craft.
right? Like you can't say you are not allowed to make this because of what you were or who you were or what you done.
Right.
That disqualifies so many people. Like if we have these standards,
true.
now I'm talking to the Christians. If we have these standards where we hold
People
what people done
accountable.
in the past, now
Yeah.
they can't do something.
Nobody
It's just-
should be doing
yeah,
anything.
Nobody has a
Excuse
right
me?
to do anything by
Right.
that merit.
Right.
And the thing is, people's like, oh, he's just trying to make, pimp the gospel. Maybe like, come on. Do you really think
And people were saying he was trying to do it for money, dude. Like, do you not?
do you understand that even if this album goes double platinum in gospel sales, that's literally nothing compared to what
he
would
was
do
making
on the secular side. Like if Kanye would just put out another album, it could be literally him just not even talking,
Boopity scoop.
just beats. It would do more as far as revenue than any gospel album does. Like
right.
gospel has a very small demographic compared to the secular world. Like, so I hate when people be like, "Oh, he's just doing that for money."
No.
First off, he's rich. He has his clothing line alone he can live off of. His wife and all her different, they
Right.
are good.
Right.
So that argument is done. And then on top of that, we got people who come out and say like, I don't believe he's really, Christian. I don't believe. And my thing is, first off, I don't, and I'm not saying this, I don't care because I look at Kanye just as any other person. Like I wouldn't. That's like if somebody new came to my church, I'm not gonna be like, I don't think they're serious or
Right.
or whatever. Like I'm not gonna discredit anybody else. So why would I hold Kanye just because he's a celebrity to a different standard than I hold other people? I don't get it. Like I don't do that to people. I never have. Like they're still people. They're celebrities that have money, but they're just people.
I have a question for you. Okay, there are people saying, "Oh, he ain't real because he let his wife still do whatever she wants." Like, how do you feel about that? Like, being that we are married too, like if that was just my job, like, how would you feel? Like, you trying to stand for something or whatever, and then people coming at you crazy because of how I'm living my life. Like it's like they want me to do a double, don't want to really let me find God on my own, or, do whatever. We don't know what she's doing. However, we know she's still doing her job.
Well, my thing is, you never know the process of how his walk might influence everybody around him.
Exactly.
So you don't know if him saying, "Hey, I'm gonna stand for this. I'm not gonna do my old music. I'm really gonna be serious about gospel music and fashion. That's all I'm gonna do." You don't know how many people he's gonna affect, include his family, including the people around him. See, that's a misconception people have about when you get saved. You think like, oh, you go home and now everything's saved around you.
Nah.
And it's not. So if anybody would come, and this goes for anybody, if you would come to any belief system, whether it's Christianity, whether it's
Muslim, anything,
any belief, if the people around you don't just automatically, your environment doesn't change to fit your belief. Right. So you have to start influencing your environment.
Right. Like,
you have to either change your environment or influence it. So you can't, like, people who say like his wife, of course she is. They are at two different places in their life.
Exactly.
But you don't know, she could be learning from him, right? Yeah, you don't know.
Like, looking at him like, wow, my husband is so different. Like,
yeah, you don't know the conversations they have.
Exactly.
You don't know
he could be teaching her. Like,
right. We don't know.
And I feel like it's also
care to, like, why people. I don't get why people care so much.
They do it too much. Like, I really feel like it's beyond crazy. But I feel like people don't realize that, like you said, there is a process. Like they think that you just get saved one day at church and then you go, like you said, everything changes. You know what I'm saying? Everything changes right then and there. But like, they don't realize that it is a process. And even if somebody coming to God, it's things you got to take off. Not, I mean, like, speaking hypothetically, things you got to take off. Like, some things you might let go later on when you completely, have given into him, God or whatever. And some things, you can take off that day. Like, oh, I'm done doing this. But like, it's a lifestyle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to constantly do that.
I think it's weird. I just think it's weird when people be like, they hold one person to a standard and not the other person.
Exactly.
Because with like, the way people really killing Kanye, a lot of these same people were okay with Snoop Dogg making a gospel album.
Right. And I don't know.
And my thing was, like, and the thing is, the reason I don't care when they do it is because a lot of these people, although they're not what I like to call weekly Christians, where they go to church consistently, they do, but a lot of these people are spiritual or grew up in the church. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a problem with them
making an album
with something that they're familiar with or they want to know about, or I don't have a problem with that, because a lot of, especially African American people, have some root from the church.
Right.
Like, somebody in your family went to church, somebody told you about church.
Right.
We all have this respect for God, or, even people who don't believe in God, respect
higher
for higher power.
Right.
And it's just something about us as a culture. Our culture is really enriched around Christianity, and, growing up black is included. Church is a part of that.
Yeah.
And so I just don't have a problem when I see people pay, like, for Snoop Dogg, it was about his family. Like, a lot of his family were, Christian, so he wanted to do it for his family, or what he grew up doing. The same thing with Kanye, but Kanye is an actual, I want to get, like, I want to get to know God. Like, I want to get my life.
I'm working on my,
like, Jesus is king to me. Like, that's king. Like, and he made it clear. He didn't sugarcoat. Like, I'm serious
and he
about
says
it.
his testimony
I'm not
a lot,
doing rap music anymore. I'm not doing my old music. This is what I'm doing from now on. I'm focusing on this. I'm focusing on my fashion. So I don't have a problem with that. I think it actually could be more beneficial for Christians to have somebody like Kanye on your side.
Definitely.
Like, somebody as talented has such a big influence as Kanye.
Right.
So, and then this is another thing, and I'm moving on. People's political viewpoints, for one, politics nowadays are so crazy. Like, if you're not all the way left and you're not all the way right, you're just wrong. Like, people Like you're not allowed to borrow ideas from one side and look at
There's
the good.
no gray area.
You can't like you're not allowed to analyze because if, for example, right now if I be like, man, that one thing Donald Trump said actually makes sense. Oh my God, you're such a
Trump supporter.
You're so. No, I'm just saying that one thing he said actually might make sense.
Yeah.
You know, you can learn from everybody.
Right.
Like that's something I'm not that type of person to be like, there's nothing that everything Donald Trump has said is completely wrong. No, a lot of what he said is wrong. A lot of what he said is lies. A lot of what he said is corrupt. But you can't tell me that there's nothing he has ever said or done that couldn't benefit or maybe it's not a bad idea. Yeah. That's just impossible. And the same thing with, other sides. That's why I hate when people judge people based off their political viewpoints because everybody has a different outlook on the world and, background and social economic status. Like, just like I know people in the gym, they're Republican only because they're rich.
Right.
Literally.
I know a lot of people too.
Like,
and black people were calling them racist. And like people we grew up with, like, buddy. They were calling them racist and stuff like that. And they had to defend themselves. They were like, dude, we don't want to pay high
taxes,
for
right.
and we don't want to pay high for insurance. Like one girl was really saying that, and it was just so sad because
and it's people who are Republican who understand, hey, yeah, we benefit from white privilege. We benefit like you guys have it terrible. Like I know some people right now that do more for African American communities than black people that are Republicans. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna be that type of person that's be so closed minded that I can't. Because I really think the answer to all of America's problems is us coming together as people, taking the good from both sides and making it work.
Right.
Like, and I think Killer Mike said it best. We had to stop saying I'm Republican. No, forget all that.
Yeah.
What's gonna work for us is and it's us, black people. What's gonna work for us from both sides? We need to pick somebody and vote somebody in who can do that for us.
Right.
Not just because they're Republican, not just because they're Democrat. What are you gonna do to, combat the systematic oppression, combat police brutality, everything that we deal with? What are you as a candidate gonna do? Like, we need to come together and figure out what we want and who can give us what we want. And that's how you solve problems. You don't solve problems by fighting back and forth. And then, you got people who they fight so much. No, now I'm not even gonna vote. Like, forget it. I'm just not gonna vote.
Like what?
That's exactly what they want you to do. They don't want you to vote. They don't want you to talk.
Black people love to do that. They be like, I ain't voting. That's not
what they
okay.
want you to do. Like,
that's worse than voting. That's not okay. Like, do they not realize that it's worse than voting? Just going up there and vote. Like, you not voting. That's just wow. Like, people don't understand that. Like, it's not okay.
I don't like that we live in a society where if you think even a small thing different from the majority, then you're a sellout.
Or opposing, like.
You don't, like, you're not allowed to have your views and just talk about it.
Right.
Like, a lot of times
crazy,
I feel like I see people argue on Facebook and go back and forth, and they don't even realize that they actually agree on certain stuff. It's just the way that they get into it is different. Like, we agree that this should be happening. You just think it should go this way. I think it should go that way. But we agree on the main point.
Right. That it should happen.
Like, we agree that healthcare should be affordable, for example. But you think that it should be this way. I think let's figure out a way that we can both make it work. Right. That we both give, and now it works for everybody.
Right.
But we don't want to do that. That's the easy way.
And that's why I feel like some people do like to be at odds with other people, like, because it's like sometimes it's not hard to, like, mend and come together and figure out something, but you choose not to do that because you don't want to do that.
Right.
And it's like we hide, just like I know about the woke movement, but there are some people who really just can't let it, like, not let it go, but they can't ease it. They can't smooth it over. They can't find a common ground. They have to hate, and that's like,
hate is not for the answer.
God,
and
it's
like,
never.
And so my thing is, like, I always watch interviews with, like, the black Trump supporters because, like me, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I love to listen to people who are, because I want to know how we can be of the same background and culture and think differently.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know. I like to hear those conversations because I want, instead of me just being like, "Oh, you're a coon, you're a sellout," blah 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 blah.
Why?
I didn't know why.
Yeah,
What's your why?
right.
And now I can be like, okay, even though that's not me,
But I understand.
At least I understand before I just throw you
under the bus.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not going. I understand where you're coming from, and now, even though you believe something, now we can work together because we're actually having dialogue.
Right.
That's how things get. But that's the easy way. Like, we don't want to do that nowadays.
And that's so sad.
But look, anyway, moving on. I kind of got a question. I guess I'll ask you. So somebody asked, can you recover from cheating in a marriage? Now, this is not people dating, because if you cheat while you're dating, it's actually really easy to recover. Just move on. Like, it's no point. Like, I hate when people.
You did it before.
I see boyfriend and girlfriends like, oh, we keep cheating. Y'all not together.
I've been a victim of that.
Go find somebody. Y'all not legally bound. Y'all ain't got to split up property. Y'all don't have. Hopefully, don't have kids. Like, go find you somebody else. Like,
it's not.
But this, if you don't know, this comes from, I guess, one of my friends was talking about the Super and Lou situation.
Yeah.
And how he cheated.
I didn't know she stabbed him one time.
I didn't know that either.
I was like, whoa. And they were like, oh, this old, like her supporters and stuff. They were like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I was like, that's not okay, even if it is
okay.
old.
Yeah,
like, that's not okay.
But anyway, they broke up because he cheated. But they weren't even married. But a lot of people was like, y'all can work. A lot of comments were like, y'all can work through this. So I think, can you work through cheating in a marriage?
In a marriage.
I'm gonna say nah. You think I'm gonna give you mine.
This has been him too.
For me, it's not that it can't be done, because I feel like anything can be done.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do it.
Right.
So that's my thing. Like, I know that it is possible to work through anything in a marriage, through counseling, through prayer, through through therapy,
everything.
Right. But I don't want to go through that for something like cheating. Like, if it's something else that we need therapy on, or whatever else, cool. Like, let's work, let's build, let's get through that. But cheating is one of those things. I don't want to waste my energy to do all that. What I know is people.
Oh.
No, what I know is, like, I will never be the same. That's how I feel. Like,
yeah, my thing is kind of also what you said. I'll never be the same. Like, I tell you how different it was. Like, just from past experiences, I believe that too. Like, I can never come back to loving you, and not even so much as loving you, but the trust issue. Like, I am so big on trust, and it's like, once it's broken, I don't know if I can recover it. And that's why it's like, don't even cheat, don't even do that. Like, because I don't even know if I can ever recover from it. So don't do it. Like, and I don't condone it. Like, no.
It's just like that situation where, God forbid anybody gets in that situation, but it's like a situation where you're stuck in this like place where you don't want to lose the person you love, but you already kind of lost them, a piece of them, to somebody else. And so now you're stuck like, do I lose them for good?
Or do I build on that piece?
Or do we come back and I build with this, broken piece? Do I try to build it back?
But like, just think about it. Who wants to sit there? I'm just speaking about us. Who wants to sit there and just have to build, and I didn't even do anything? Like, it's like, we gotta work at this, and it's like, the other person did this. Like, I'm suffering still, and that's my thing too. I always tell him that, even with like, cheating and then having kids, like, I just like, the other person has to deal with what you did, even if you don't have a kid, from cheating. But like, I know you cheated on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know somebody else had a part of my husband, or if I'm, a wife, whatever. Like, I know somebody had that, so it's like, I'll never be the same.
And that's
never.
the thing. Like you'll never.
I'll never.
That's the thing.
We can get close to it, but I don't
never be at that level.
And that's and I won't full. 100%.
I'm not gonna say you can't get back to a place where
you good.
You can survive because I know people who have.
Yeah.
But even those people always say there's always those moments when it's like they have those moments where
those thoughts.
They might trip out when you don't text right back or.
You never can be the
you watch a movie, somebody cheating, and you look over, they crying. It's that type of stuff. Like even though y'all can get back to actually talking and not fighting, and y'all can get
to a good place, but it'll never be.
It'll never be where you were.
Yeah, like from when y'all first started, and
that's really the reason not the only reason, but that's the main reason I don't put myself in situations for infidelity because. I don't ever want to be in that situation where it's that cycle of we're good, back to bad. Good, God, you don't trust me. Oh my God. I didn't text you back quick enough. You're cheating again. That fight. Oh my God.
No, like.
Especially the stuff that we do, like being that I do side stuff where I'm always out, like as far as like playing at events or. I'm always around other women, like at church and stuff or at the gym. You know, that type of stuff. Like, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't. Like, I know. But it is possible. To answer the question, it is possible to work through cheating because you can work through anything.
It wouldn't work with me either, though.
But it's something that I don't want to do. That's the thing. You can do it. I just don't want to do it. And a lot of other people don't want to do it.
And that's okay. Like sometimes they force it on. Like some people,
some people.
No, I don't. Like
some people do it. Like I said, some people do it. It works out. They live for the rest of their life and never cheat again. But it's always those. They tell you it's always those moments where you never know. But
I look over your shoulder. You know.
I know people who cheat all the time and get back together. That's just what they do.
And that's unhealthy.
I mean, that's unhealthy, but that's good.
You know, that's how people function.
Right.
Not over here. It's not. Like, I don't think he's ever cheated in dating, right? And never been a victim of cheating either, right?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, well, he doesn't. He's not a known victim.
Man. Girl's not loyal.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
I dated people in college, so I feel like you never know in college. Like, people...
Yeah, it's so easy to cheat.
Yeah, like, I dated girls. They could have been, like, sleeping with my next-door neighbor, but I never would have known.
Never know.
It's college, like...
Right.
So I'm not gonna say that. I just know I've never cheated on one of my girlfriends. Like, that's dumb.
I was a victim and I was a
perpetrator,
cheater. But only because I was a victim first.
You were a cheater.
So I don't care because I got cheated on. The cheated on cheats. Just like people who hurt people, right?
I guess
you're cheated. Yeah.
I want to.
I used to like to play the get back game. No, that's just me.
I want to put that on my resume. Like, I would never want to put that on my resume that I was a cheater.
Well, I don't know who would. Well, let me take that back because people.
I
saw a post made. I was blown away. It was something about because somebody did it to me, like somebody took my man or whatever. Like that's what I'm gonna do to everybody else. Like different women. I'm taking men. Like,
I was dumb.
Why is that a mentality?
It's like
that is so hurtful as a woman, a black woman, to see another black woman.
You said a black woman. That's hurtful as a human.
It is, but I'm just thinking about my black sisters. That's like, it's hurtful to hear that. Like, to see where we have evolved to, or maybe, I don't know. But it just hurts. It's
I don't know.
Not okay.
I don't know. Cheating is one of those things that if your relationship has not experienced it, don't let it happen. Like, if you haven't had to go through that, just don't let it happen.
Right.
And like, it's one of those things that you really have to be mindful of. Mm-hmm. You have to know your triggers and know how to avoid it. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, for me, I don't have a Snapchat. Not because I cheated on Snapchat. I just feel like if stuff disappeared, I'm just setting myself up for stuff. Like, that's not gonna work for me. So I'm not on there. Like, I don't want to be put in a situation where people snap me stuff that's inappropriate or you know what I'm saying, like, and then there's no account of it where you can go back and show like, you know what I'm saying, like stuff disappeared, like, and then it look kind of fishy, or like if I'm talking to somebody and it's innocent, but you can't prove what y'all was snapping them. It's just I don't like that whole idea. Yeah. That's why I like stuff where you can go back and be like, no, this is what we were talking about, whatever. And plus, my Snapchat at the time was full of like everybody from college, so it was just like a lot of craziness. Like yeah. So I was like, had to get off there. But yeah, just know what triggers you and stay away from it.
Yeah, even not even that. I mean, like triggers you, like stuff that is enticing to you. For instance, if I like money, maybe people might try to get me with money, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. I know what this is, and I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, with anything that tempts you, I guess you would say.
All right, just stay away from that. But I guess moving on to our favorite segment, I love you, but I don't care. Yeah, Saints are still winning football games. Drew Brees was back, first game back. Of course, they won, blew them out. I think we're 7-1. We're ranked as the second best team.
Wow, good.
So it's looking good for the Saints.
Looking real good.
Basketball started. The Lakers are looking good. My favorite team of all time. Even though I don't like LeBron, but got to deal with LeBron. We're looking decent.
Wow, you're a true Lakers fan.
Yeah.
Because some people was like, nah, I'm moving my team because LeBron's on it.
Well, I mean, Kobe's still so closely associated with the Lakers. Even though he doesn't play anymore, he still, like, is a Laker. That's why I'm like, I can't leave the Lakers yet. Now, if Kobe go be like a coach at a different team, I'm gone. Like, because I cannot deal with LeBron. But for now, and my thing is, LeBron is my favorite person off the court, but on the court, I cannot stand LeBron. Like, off the court, I love LeBron. Like, I love LeBron as a father, husband, all that. But on the court, can't stand him. But yeah, the Warriors look terrible, except for Steph Curry. They are trash.
Oh, that's so sad.
Like, with Klay Thompson being out.
Yeah.
The heck?
That's funny.
With Klay Thompson being out and KD leaving, they look terrible right now.
Is he like going to another team? What team is he?
Yeah, KD left. He with Kyrie.
What is Kyrie with?
Kyrie Irving.
Where'd he with?
Brooklyn.
Oh, I think I had saw that.
Yeah,
I saw the jerseys or something like that. Yeah.
That's where he's from. Well, he's from DC, but same thing. But Kyrie is actually from Jersey and grew up a New Jersey Nets fan. So it kind of makes sense. They teamed up back in Brooklyn, which is dope. Yeah, so that's it for sports.
I saw something that was so sad today. It's not really didn't really happen today. It's just the little girl got to come home. Anyway, it was this. I forgot what sport it was. It was this woman. Apparently, she's a big sports person or whatever. She died while giving birth, childbirth, and she already had two kids before, and she, they said she died while giving birth to the baby, and the baby was coming home today, so it was like buku shares, she died giving birth, and it was, I think they said the cause was the amniotic fluid got into her blood,
right,
and so it started to mess everything up, and then her heart just stopped, and he couldn't revive her. And I was like, oh my God, because did you ever think that, like, were you ever worried about that? Like, I know women worry about that, like dying during childbirth, because it's like, it's rare, but we know it happens, and we don't know why it happens.
Was I worried? No, I wasn't worried.
I mean, that wasn't even in the back of your mind, like that's a possibility.
No, because I knew God wouldn't leave me out here with two kids,
right? But like, he has 3 kids now, like 2 boys and a baby. Like,
I mean, it's not something I'm worried about, but it's a possibility. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you think about it, because.
But no, at the time, I really wasn't. I was more in shock.
You were just watching me shake, because I was shaking.
Right.
Crazy. But I was so sad because I always think about that. I don't think that that would happen to me, like you said, because about faith and stuff like that. But it's just still there because I'm a woman and like it could happen to anybody.
Well, it's not that. It's just at the time, nothing was going through my head. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but at that moment,
yeah, I was just in shock, like that. The baby is coming. Like I wasn't thinking of anything else.
I guess you're right. I mean, a lot of people don't really think of the cons to childbirth or stuff that could happen. You know.
I think you think about it before, but not during the childbirth.
Like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, did you think about it? Oh my God, I'm pregnant. Like I did. Like at the beginning, I was pregnant. Like, and then like I would.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, think about all that, but
that's so crazy. You know, like that it could happen. Like, and for what? You know, you would never know until you go do the autopsy and stuff. Like, and it's just, how can you prevent all that? Like, how could you prevent the amniotic fluid going into the
Good. It's one of two.
Yeah, it's just so sad, but like. That was sad for me. But,
well, rest in peace to her.
Yeah, her name's Allie. That was so sad.
Yeah. Anyway, hate to end on a sad note, Dominique.
Sorry, it was so sweet though. Like they raised like $150,000 from GoFundMe.
Oh yeah, money makes everything happy right now.
It makes it better, you know. Think about it, 3 kids, man. If I left you here with 3 kids, 2 and a brand new baby. You gotta be doing the morning nights, the midnight nights by yourself.
I would not be by myself.
Who, your mama would be here?
Mm-hmm. baby mama.
Bet.
Anyway.
You gotta make a joke out of anything.
Well, deuces.